Okay, so Inktober is a thing that I'm doing, as is this video. I haven't done something like this in a while. Definitely not in this style, at least. So for about 20 seconds here, I try to get my mechanical pencil in focus, and it doesn't. But it does eventually. Just wanted to start off with what I'm using to draw. As you can tell, I already have the sketch kind of done, as I didn't really think to do a video like this until I'd already done the sketch, but I was already there, and I wanted to do, I don't know, I wanted to try this U2 thing. So you can see it's a Zebra M301.5mm MP mechanical pencil. I guess that's what MP stands for. Literally just figured that out. I'm not even kidding. And then I've got one of my Copic markers here, the G29. I always use the Copic sketch. I have a moderate selection of these, pine tree green. I end up using a couple others that I show later. This is the Pigma FB Sakura pen, the fine brush. This is the brush pen that I use basically religiously. I also use one of the Fudenosuke ones, but that's what I use all the time. And then a kneaded eraser, as I picked one up semi-recently, and these are really great as there's no plastic bits all over the place. So I'd start off with just darkening the pencil lines so you can actually see what I'm doing instead of it slowly getting revealed, which maybe would have been cooler, but too late. So the prompt I did, so I'm doing the official prompt list. The prompt for today was weak, and I came up with this little, so if you don't follow me on social media already, I'm doing basically all these drawings around this little bird sparrow character, where I want to make some game assets around so I can kind of build a portfolio with stuff like that. And this bird kind of started out as just like minding its thing. It's got one of its wings tied down a string, and the story idea is that it's trying to get out of this forest. But it kind of turned into a chaos bird with one of the earlier prompts. It's setting a raccoon on fire. So in this one, it's kind of weakened a tree branch, and a cat or fox, still don't know what it is falling to some sort of injury probably. So I start inking it here. When I was doing this piece, often when I go into these, I have some idea of what I'm going to color, what I'm going to ink. When I first started Inktober, I stuck with just ink. Didn't really get the colors out until a few days ago, where I kind of got tired of coming up with different ways to use the ink. And I am working, so I only have so many hours in the day to do these, but I do have a couple days off here, hence I'm doing the video in the first place. But I knew I was going to do the leaves in the background there. I was going to fill that in green with the Copic marker, as I've been continuing this mini rainbow interlude that I did by accident. So I knew I was going to do that in green. I wasn't sure yet. I had an idea where I wanted to do the bird and sharp knife thing as a silhouette. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a white silhouette or a black silhouette. So I decided to just start with lining everything to begin with before I settled on a particular idea. Yeah, so you can judge my fine liner brush pen techniques for what you will. I kind of took a while to get used to these. I like these, the Pigma FB. It's a nice introduction. I tried getting a couple fancier ones and had a lot of trouble, just like ones with like the really long brush. I had a hard time because they were so flexible, and I was kind of new to it. I had a hard time keeping the lines consistent and not messing up. But this one is really nice, and I actually have like 6 of them because I just keep buying them when I see them, even though I have some at home. And here you can kind of see doing some lettering. I like playing around with lettering when I can get the chance. I'm not super great at calligraphy and lettering, but I like practicing it when I can and kind of having fun with it. And again, the Pigma fine brush is good for that because it's kind of got a slightly flexible tip, so I can do some of that kind of line work. Yeah, when I was drawing the fox cat, I think I went into it with the idea of a fox, but later you see that the only color that's in this piece, which is what I wanted in the first place, was just the green in the background. So I didn't actually want to color the fox in orange, so it ended up being a kind of ambiguous kind of critter. It's not the raccoon from the previous prompt, as it doesn't have the patterning, but it has the dark tip tail and the ears. So it's whatever you want it to be. And I actually kind of like how it worked out that way with the way that the piece is cropped. So that is kind of you're not really sure what it is, but it's definitely not going in for a good time. So another thing I like about the Pigma brush is, as you can see with the fox cat, I was able to kind of have these fatter, like kind of quicker strokes where I was less careful, and it made kind of a rougher shape, which really helped with showing the motion and detailing the fur and making it look like it's falling. So just erasing all the pencil lines before I start to put any color down. Again, kneaded erasers, really, really great. If you've never tried one, I highly suggest. I think the one I have is just a Settler, because that's just what I was able to find at work. It's the only brand we have. So here is, I always pull these up upside down, Copic Warm number 7, or Warm Gray number 7. I don't have the full selection of grays, because there's, they're so expensive, you can only buy like 2 at a time, really. And I decided to color in the tree and the branches with this dark warm gray, as I didn't want to fill it in black, because I decided to do the bird silhouette in black. So I wanted some sort of contrast so you could kind of tell it apart from everything, especially since the green I was using was going to be pretty dark. So I went in with the warm gray number 7 and just filled everything in. There's a few spots where it kind of bled through, but that just kind of happens, and it's Inktober, you're supposed to mess up. Here is the second gray I used, warm gray number 5, lighter gray for the broken branch bits there, and for the main body of the fox cat. I've been using Copics for quite a while now, still learning. It feels like sometimes I can get the full, like, the strokes aren't super noticeable, sometimes they do come up. I think it really depends on how fast you can do it and how big of a space you're trying to cover. You can kind of see in the tree towards the bottom there, I didn't do quite the right way as I was filling it in, and you can kind of see the bottom. There's this, like, a line of strokes going up. So then I went back and filled in our Chaos Burb friend after doing the tips on the cat fox. And then I had the green to do. This took quite a while, and my wrist was starting to hurt by the end of it. But I like how it turned out. I still kind of wonder how it would have looked if I'd done like a lighter green, because that probably would have made more sense with the light coming through the leaves. But I was actually partially considering coloring the leaves in black, but I wanted to, I guess, like, keep the contrast and have some kind of light in the piece somewhere so that it wasn't too dark overall. Yeah, I kind of liked how that turned out. As you see later, the green definitely required 2 coats because the strokes are pretty visible, especially in this last shape here. It's just such a big space to cover, and I wish I had broken it up better, but I didn't want to really do that without, like, really cheating it, and it wasn't too terrible. But again, it's Inktober, it's more about the ink, less about the Copics, blah blah blah. I had fun, and I think that's the most important part, and it's been really good, like, doing one of these every day. As you can see, I already have the sketch for tomorrow's already. So for Inktober this year, I decided to give myself more time to actually do it, because last year I still haven't finished last year's. I want to eventually, because I think I have most of the sketches done, but it's like the last 4 days I haven't finished properly. But I want to go back and finish that. So for this year, what I did was I like wrote down the list of prompts. I decided on like a specific, like I wanted to do this bird character, and I kind of chose a sketchbook and like drew out these lines so I had smaller area to work with. There's the Copics done. I'm just trying to fix the lighting because there's like a glare. Also sorry for the low quality. I'm working with a webcam. Maybe one day I can get a video camera, but I only have so much income. Yeah, as I was saying, so I did that, and then I picked up a little date stamp recently. So I just stamped that with a little star, did my little Vanderwander thing, the year, and I just wrote down all the prompts ahead of time. And then for like, I think 1 week at a time, I've been doing little thumbnail sketches in a separate sketchbook. And then usually I'll do like both the sketch and the lining the day of. Sometimes I'll do 2 in advance. Sometimes I'm a little late. I've been late a couple days, but some weeks I'm busier with work than others. But I've been liking this so far. It's been really working. Already like halfway through the month, and I'm not even feeling all that burnt out. Probably helps that I have 2 days off in a row, which almost never happens. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this, and it's been feeling pretty good to be able to actually post it every single day, and like I'm involved in the event, I guess. So I'm finishing up the second coat here of the green, which kind of helped get rid of the strokiness of the color. And there's a few spots where it bled through. You can kind of see in the close-up here, and I kind of bled into the other days adjacent. Not a huge deal. But c'est la vie. So next I go in with one of my favorite tools. I use these a lot. If you haven't tried these, I highly suggest you pick them up. It's a jelly roll, size 8. I only have the size 8 and a size 10 in the white, but I have like 5 of these. I also do like the other one. I do have a couple of the Uniball Signos. Those are good too, but I always go for the jelly roll first because they were what I first worked with, and I'm kind of used to them. And yeah, they sometimes don't super work, but for like small little areas like this, or for working on like toned paper for effects like that, it works really well. So I just went around and did what I could to kind of fix the areas where it bled over. And then I had an idea where I wanted to kind of make the font actually readable instead of disappearing into the leaves. So I just went and outlined the text, the sound effect there, with the white, so you can actually see it in the piece and not have to squint to look for it. Again, apologies for the webcam. Autofocus was the best option, especially since I wanted to show the supplies I was using and do those close-ups without having to record like 8 different sets of footage to edit, because I don't really know what I'm doing here. This is kind of a first try thing. Don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm just gonna make it, gonna post it, see how it goes. Let me know for the 5 of you who watch this, probably. And then I wanted to outline our Chaos Burb in white so that he's a little more visible in front of the leaves. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Not my favorite, though I do really like the sound effect there and the falling. This was a fun one. I like more of the story here than anything else. But it was still fun to do, and I might do more recorded like this. I don't know. Again, let me know thoughts, comment, subscribe, whatever, that nonsense, whatever you feel. Yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. I'm trying to think what else to say here. If you like what you saw, and don't follow me on social medias already, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr. I will put those links in the description. Just waving goodbye with this tiny stuffed Shiba here. Yeah, I think that's it.